Hey everybody, welcome to the Wednesday afternoon live stream. I don't have any agenda today. I have no plans because I've been kind of busy on a bunch of other stuff and didn't think I had anything. I don't know, I feel weird if I'm streaming and I don't have a plan, but since I didn't stream last Wednesday, I started to miss everybody, so I thought I'd at least pop on for a little while and we could just talk. We've got Kit here. We've got Harper. There he is. And we've got Casey. I think he's here. There he is. There's Casey. All right. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? I see Nikki, of course. Nikki's always first one here. I see Rick. I see Soul Machine. Oh, Soul Machine, I hope you're feeling better. I see the Mix Club. What's up? I see Terry. And I see Vibe Right. What's going on? And of course, Lisa Chase Wolf over there on Twitch. Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy week or so for me. Kind of getting back from the vacation. We were like, I needed the vacation. I took a lot of time off, and I got home and I was just really tired and kind of getting back into things. And I started mixing the String Dusters album, which is 20 songs. I've delivered 7 mixes, which will get tweaked out. 7 finished mixes. Oh, I see UZ Racer. What's going on? He got a new toy. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I've been mixing, and I'll explain a little bit more about why that's been so difficult. It's not just as simple as the mixes. We've also got this couch burning coming up this weekend, which I'll talk about that as well. And oh boy, a bunch of other stuff. I did put out a video last week. It's about the new bands. Let's show them the thumbnail here, Harper. So this came out last week. It's got over 40,000 views on it so far, and it's another one of the videos where I have people referring bands and artists to me, and then I'll pick 7 or 8 and talk about them. I think we're at probably over 500 now, Kit.
Yes, we are at over 500. So. Yeah,
let's go to our shot there.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, so yeah, we had 400 when I started this video, and then now I think we're to 500 recommendations for bands and artists, and eventually we'll work through them all. So, UZ Racer on Twitch says, I got a Dynacord Echo Cord Mini. What is that? You need new tape there. Is it it's like a tape echo or something? Interesting. Oh, I see Reagan Radio Star is on. We got Lebo Gang and Glenn H88. And, somebody new. Nice to meet you too. Momentum. Is that what that says? God, Crystal, I need new glasses. Oh, my God. Oh, and by the way, Nikki... Well, don't DM me the band. Go to the video and make a comment on there and leave it there. That's where we're going. Nikki, Kit said that you sent her a recording of a cover song, that you covered one of my songs. I've not had a chance to hear it yet. She was telling me about it. So I'm going to get to it. It's just been absolutely, absolutely crazy. Part of the issue that I've been having is mixing this album. Now, in this studio here, I track here and I can mix up to a point, but the room's not quite right for the low end. It's still weird, and I got to get some work done on it. So what I've been doing is I've been going down to my old studio, The Zone, where I've mixed for years, and mixing down there. I'll start the mix here and I'll finish it down there because I can hear the low end so good, but it's not as simple as just picking up my computer and the interface, because the studio, the mixer at the old studio is really old, and I don't trust it. So what I've been doing is having to drag along, like, my computer, the interface, but also my my Avocet studio controller. And let me show you my rig. I put this together. I put this together for going back and forth. Oh, let's switch over to this camera here. So I can, it's normally all of this is in this rack over here, but I put it in this rack so I can somewhat easily work here, and then when it's time to go, I just go back here. It's a mess, and I can just unplug everything. I don't know if you can see that there. I unplug everything, and then at the other studio, I've got a bunch of cables that run out to the various speakers and stuff, and then I can like just hook it up and work and then come back. And usually I'll go down there for a couple days and then I'll come back here because I just, especially if I'm mixing like acoustic stand-up bass is really hard. And I did a deep dive live stream on Sunday where I showed some of that. We had some people on there from Patreon and I got really deep into mixing bluegrass, but kind of showing stuff I was doing on the bass. It's the hardest stuff to mix that I've ever done in my life. It's not easy. Let's see what's going on up here. And we're just here to talk today. I've got a couple things I'll show you and I'll talk about the couch and some other stuff. But if anybody's got any questions or whatever. Hey, Glenn, yes, all is well. Everything's just busy and I'm behind on everything. And it's kind of why I didn't stream last week. So let's see. So UZ Racer said that it's, hold on. I'm going to look something up here. Kit, say something interesting.
Well, I was just going to see, I see Lebogang Radebe asked, my question for you is, how does one know that the mix is finished and now it's ready for mastering? We get that question fairly often, and Billy often says that a mix is never really finished, it's only abandoned. And that's kind of the same for recording a song as well. But at a certain point, you just have to be like, I've done what I can. So, more band recommendations coming in. I will add them to our list.
All right, start adding them. Oh, let's go back over to here. Let's go to the DAW. So yeah, UZ Racer says he got a Dynacord analog tape echo. Is this the kind you got right there? Whoops. Oh, hold on. Didn't want to do that. Let's go image and new tab. So is that kind of what you got there? Yeah, I don't know where you'd get tape. You might have to like put your own tape together, like find the width and just splice it. And I mean, if it's even possible. Oh, I wonder if there's any pictures of it opened up. I had an Echoplex. Oh, here's the inside view of it. Let's see. Let's look at this. Oh, yeah, you might be able to just do it on your own to get tape if it's like a 1/4 inch or something like that. I have actually, where is it? I have this. This is a Univox tape echo, and it uses a cartridge, which is somewhere around here. There's actually like a little tape cartridge, like an 8-track tape cartridge, and I think the tape is so worn out, like all the oxide came off of it. But what's interesting about this thing is I actually could run my guitar through it without worrying about the delay and just crank it up. It actually makes a really cool distortion, but I want to get this thing working. It actually belongs to Rick Austin. He's letting me borrow it. One day he'll ask for it back. As far as like when do you know is a mix is done, that's a really tricky one. It's like whenever I'm mixing, I go through these different stages. I start where I start making it sound better. It gets to a point I like. Then I want to make some changes. Then it sounds worse again. Then it sounds pretty good. But there's a point if I keep tweaking it, I kind of lose something. It might get technically better, but I start kind of killing some of the vibe. How do I know when it's done? It's kind of like that's something that you'll have to learn on your own. Like you'll start to get a feeling about that. It's not an easy call. At a certain point, though, if you're mixing your own stuff and you got all the time in the world, then that's the problem. The blessing is that if you're doing it for a living and you got a lot of clients in mix work, you got to kind of just get it done. So usually it's the client's like, pretty good. And you're like, my attitude is like, if the low ends sounded pretty good and the high ends sounded pretty good on different speakers and the vibe is there, at a certain point you can tweak it out and there's certain things that actually aren't going to matter. As long as people can feel the beat and get the melody and all that, I know that's not, don't get me wrong. I tweak shit out, but there's a point where you got to back off or you're going to ruin it. Lisa Chase Wolf on Twitch says, what do you say? I was doing some audio restoration work this week and sent it out and got it back. There's a weird squawk, scratch, downsample issue. Spent a day trying to figure it out before checking the guitar stem. I don't know, to only realize the original recording rolled off the mids and highs I'd put back and all the squawk was just the guitarist doing ska upstrokes on a distorted amp. Chasing a ghost is real. Yeah. I actually had something recently with a squeaky drum pedal, kick drum pedal, that it took me forever to figure it out. Oh my God, it was driving me nuts. Let's see. Oh, there was something over here. Oh, I did. Oh, I turned it. I had the lab on. I just turned it off. Yeah, I realized it was probably phasing out and sounding weird. Eventually, I'm going to get this opto gate thing.
What are your thoughts on the warm audio tone beast?
You know, I haven't really used any warm audio stuff. You know, like some people, hold on, tone beast. Here's the thing. It's kind of two things. I'm looking at pictures of it now. Well, it's orange. Let's see. Looks cool. I mean, I haven't tried it out. I mean, I'm usually just working. Some people are really into trying out gear and stuff like that. I'm assuming this is a piece of hardware. I don't think this is like, yeah, this is not a, oh, darn it. This is not a plug-in. Oh, get out of the way. Kind of cool looking. But, I mean, you know, it's probably cool. Now, one of my goals with my channel here is to get up to 100,000 subscribers and then use that clout to go to manufacturers. And I got somebody that I talked to on a Zoom call the other day and I got to get the list out to him, that's going to help me get gear. So I can do giveaways and maybe review stuff or whatever. Not that this is a review channel, but I'll put it in videos and kind of talk about it. And, you know, I feel like having 100,000 subscribers would be a really good thing. Somebody suggested that I have a contest to get more subscribers and that I will do something when I get to 100,000 subscribers. Oh, if I help me get to 100,000 subscribers and I'll do this thing, right? I don't know what that thing is. The only thing I can think about is dancing in the road in my underwear.
Do y'all have better suggestions?
Yeah, if anybody's got an idea. But yeah, eventually I'll start. Maybe I can get gear here. But I don't really have time to try out gear because I'm busy using it. Let's see what else we got here.
UZ Racer said, put a comp on your kick, get a slight comp on the master, and a proper reverb on it, and it's basically done. Otherwise, every FX and stuff starts to be a part of the instrument. That's my opinion about it.
Yeah. Let's see what. I was looking at something here. Just ordered. So Emperor Kamikaze says, Billy, I just ordered a Tascam Studio bridge that will pair with my Soundtrack's Topaz inline console, so I'll be working with full analog mix, no computer. And it's actually interesting that you say that. That's really cool, Emperor Kamikaze. One of my plans coming up is that I will be doing some songs completely in analog at some point. And hold on, let me come over here. Let's go to this guy. So, I know I've shown this on other live streams and videos. This is working better now. This is my 16-track 1-inch machine here. And I've got it all hooked up to the board and it's all working. I got to get some work done to the remote control. There's something kind of acting weird with it. But I will be using this to do some songs completely in analog. My goal is to record and mix and do it all in analog and do it all in a day. I got to get the musicians together, but I love this thing. I mean, it's really freaking cool. Probably the focus isn't going to be right on here because I can't see the screen, but you know, we got 16-track head stack and all that kind of stuff. It's just sitting over here in the corner right now, but it's all working. It's all working fine. And my goal is to do some songs all in analog. And there's another artist I was talking to that might come into town, and we might do something where we do a song a day and we do 3 or 4 of them, from beginning to end. And we just live stream, doing my 8 or 9 hour long live streams, which I've not done in a while. I'm going to be getting back to that. So I've messed around with the analog machines. I haven't done a full song in analog in a really long time. So thanks, AM. We love you. We love you too. Appreciate it.
Let's see. Rick Finsta recommended give away a mix and do it live. As a 100,000 subscribers, somebody gets a mix, and then you mix live.
Let me write this down. This is my note. My new notes for the last couple days. This is how it all happens. You know, I've tried to use like apps and all that, and it just kind of comes down to having a piece of paper with a bunch of stuff scribbled on it. Okay, hold on. Let me write this down. It would be
Or Emperor Kamikaze suggests 100,000 subs means you're going to do a gangsta rap about it. Peasant Kicker suggests mud wrestling.
Ooh, I kind of like that. Oh, Casey's here with us. Look at that. He's sitting right next to you.
I know. Isn't it nice?
Yeah, look at that. Casey's sitting right there. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he does that. Okay, what was it? Mix.
What, the mud wrestling?
One song.
100,000 subs. You give away a mix and you do it live.
Okay, give away. Okay, oh yeah, give away a mix. And what was did somebody else have another? What was the other crazy thing? Did somebody else say something?
Mud wrestling. Also,
mud wrestling.
Do a
like
gang.
You and me.
Oh God.
I'm not wrestling, and no, I'll wrestle you in the mud. I ain't wrestling anybody else. No, but you'd beat me. That would be embarrassing. Yeah. Yeah, and I want to do giveaways like of gear and all that. Like we had the sample song contest a few months ago, which was freaking amazing. And I'd like to have better gifts next time because I mean we gave away my CD and like some guitar picks and stuff and you know the Zoom meetings, but yeah, it'd be cool to have some gear to give away and stuff like that.
The other one you wanted to write. The other one you wanted to write down was where'd it go? 100,000 subs means you'll do a gangsta rap about it.
Oh yeah.
I'll do
a gangster rap. I've got a new song and I'm thinking about rapping on it. It scares the hell out of me about it. Okay. I was thinking about doing something like, well, I'll cut my hair, and there's like, actually, I don't want to cut my hair. Oh, by the way, hey, does anybody else have a problem with my hair? I know I'm not supposed to like read bad comments and pay attention to them, but I get a lot of, well, not a lot, but everyone's like, why don't you cut your hair? Oh, old guy trying to be young with long hair and all this. Like, hey, I ain't trying to do anything. I just forgot to cut my hair. It grows fast. That's it. And it's too much. I mean, I guess I could cut it, but it looks cool. Okay. 100K transients for 100K subs. Mixed down contest for real.
So in other words, the funny suggestion is 100,000 transients for 100,000 subs, and then but the real thing she's saying or they're saying is definitely the mixed down contest.
Thanks, UZ Racer. Let's see. Have you checked out Scandal, an all-female band from Japan? This is Terry on YouTube.
Oh, I missed that one.
Scandal. For 19 years with the original lineup. Oh my God.
Yeah, so this will be suggestion number 584.
584?
Yes.
Oh my God. Hold on. Are you adding this to the spreadsheet as we go?
I am. Oh, actually, 2 other people have recommended Scandal as well. So, not a new one.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I got to do something here. Oh my God. Hold on. Give me just a second. Did you type in where they suggested that song? And is the spreadsheet on the Contact Billy Hume Gmail or the Freaking Out with Billy Hume Gmail?
You shared it with me, so I do it in my Gmail.
Hold on, let me see.
I accepted the share.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, so you saying you want me to make a note that someone on the...
Yeah, well, they said the name of their video. So if people suggest a band and then they say a song or a video, I put that in the description. So down here at the bottom, here, let's go over, Harper, to the screen. Okay, look, let's go all the way to the bottom. I don't see it, Kit. Did you add the new one?
No, because Scandal has already been recommended.
Oh,
so
did you put in that? Did you? Oh my God, you'll have to search for it.
I already did.
Did you put the song?
I've added the extra thing. I'm way ahead of you.
God, you are so fast. But look at this, everybody. These are the bands that have been recommended to us. And up here at the top, oh my God, these are the ones I've done. Right? That's where you see the green there. Everything else is just, we've got Sleep Token, Snarky Puppy, which is a little older, Viagra Boys. I mean, I'm just naming all. It's like, Der and Gray, Neil Francis, Ugly, King Cruel, Visions of Atlantis. I mean, Baby Metal has actually come up. I see 9 recommendations on here. It's probably higher. Samurai, Transatlantic. Like, look, so we're now at, what'd you say,
580. Hold on, got to scroll down because you're doing the same.
Modern Talking. So that's 583 bands referred so far for these videos I'm doing where I talk about bands. And, and just so everybody knows, it's not, I've had a couple people say, well, these bands aren't new. It's not necessarily about a band being new. It's about a band that I didn't know about and I thought was kind of cool and there was something to say. There's no kind of universal kind of guideline or rules here. I mean, it's me, like, this is what I like. And then sometimes I'll talk about bands I don't necessarily like it's not my thing, but it's just that there's something interesting about it, or I think it's something people would be interested in. One of the bands I talked about in the last video, Nightwish, has been around since, I think, 96. And people from Europe are like, well, how do you not know about Nightwish? Well, everybody knows about them here. They've sold millions of records and toured the world, and we're in America. We live in a bubble here. And a lot of people are in bubbles. A lot of people don't know stuff. So I'm just exposing music that I think, that is cool. So if you see something you've known about it for years, you don't need to be like, well, I know about them. It's like, well, good. Don't you want other people to know about them? Oh, and I want to mention something else too. And it's probably nobody on the stream right now, but I get these comments from people and they'll say things like, they all suck, about the bands I'm talking about. They all suck. They're all boring. People who say stuff like that never say anything positive about a band they like. They never refer a band. Like, instead of getting on there and saying, I think all these bands suck, why don't you instead say, what do you like? I mean, it's fine. If you don't like them, that's fine. But you don't need to, there's no real reason to tell everybody that. Okay, great. I don't like everything. So, I'm not going to answer that, Lisa. I think we all know the answer. Let's see. Thanks, Emperor Kamikaze, about my hair. Oh, yeah, and we are getting merch together. Oh, my God, that's been another thing. And
we're
got
working
into
on it.
But several people mentioned Billy Hume wigs.
I'll see what I can do.
I was just like, ha. But then so many people said
so
it. I was
many
like,
people have said that would be fun. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking into it. We're probably going to start with T-shirts and stickers.
Yeah,
I mean,
we got the design. It's just like trying to get the right. Oh my God, what a pain in the butt! Figuring out how to like
Walmart Gandalf. Yes, I have to say, when it comes to looking at like wholesale wigs and stuff, if you put in Wizard, that's the fastest way to get close.
Momentum's asking an interesting question here, Billy. How do you deal with the situation where hard panned, heavy rhythm guitars get really weak when listening in mono? The only reason I can imagine that would happen is if you are doubling the same part, like taking a part and then maybe changing the EQ and panning it, or maybe you do a slight offset with the timing. If you're doing that with one guitar part, you're probably going to get phasing issues, which is going to make them sound smaller. I always actually have the guitarist play the parts twice. Or if somebody sent me a track and they didn't double the guitar, but I wish I had a double. If it's repeatable, I'll cut and paste and make it and try to do it that way. If it's actually two completely different performances, it shouldn't get quieter in mono. If they are, I mean, it just might be something about the EQ or maybe the effects or something like that. I couldn't really tell you. Might also be your pan law. So pan law has to do with, like, as you pan things, with panning, and you pan something to the left or right, it doesn't just move it over there. It changes the volume of it as it moves. I can never remember if it gets louder or quieter to the sides. But that can make a difference, too, depending on your pan law as you bring it in towards the center. And where you change that, I don't know if you can do that in Ableton or not, but in Pro Tools, if you go to your session setup, there's a pan law in there, and it'll change. So if you're doubling the same guitar and you put slightly different effects on them, you put them on, it'll probably phase out. But that's why you want to do completely separate performances and then hard pan those. Let's see. Baseball hat with silver locks. Great. Hey, Unshackled Spirit, what's going on?
Libogang Radebe says, I've never recorded fully analog before. I've done hybrid recording with an analog desk and outboard gear and patch everything into Pro Tools. Back when you were talking about, doing some analog. I just realized it wasn't a question. It was a statement.
Yeah, somebody was asking about Casey sitting next to you, Crystal. Casey's just really calm.
Yes, totally.
He's very still. And,
and there might be some lag from the Netherlands, a little bit. So,
yeah. I don't know how he shows up here, but he's
amazing.
Magic like that. I don't know.
Actually, it's kind of funny. I actually don't think he's in the comments today.
I know. That's because he's stuck.
That's because he's here.
He's stuck in this transitional thing, like where he's like in between Netherlands and here, and he can't. He's having a hard time actually commenting now because he's halfway here and there.
We haven't quite gotten the kinks worked out yet.
Let's see. If the delay tool
go?
is used to double the guitar and change phase in one channel, bring it to mono, then you phase cancel a bit. It'll be cut. Yeah. So TSG is saying, like, if you are panning your guitars, the same guitar, and you're doing a little bit of a delay thing, you put it in mono and it's getting smaller. I guess what he's saying is flip the phase on one of them. Because the delay could be throwing it out of phase, which is also going to make it sound a little weird in stereo. It might make it seem a little wider because the phase will kind of do that. But if you bring them together and they sound smaller, try like flipping the polarity or the phase on one of those channels and then pan them back apart and see what that sounds like. Somebody's here from South Africa. How's it going? And
yes, that's right. Stuck in a wormhole.
Yes.
Let's see. Where'd it go? Yeah, y'all. Mono. I have mono neon on the list. Is that the same as mono band? Operators. I'm going to try to keep up with y'all's recommendations here. I saw something else that was an actual question. But yeah, if I miss y'all's question, just do it again. Regarding Spotify royalties, the real issue is with the big three. They are the ones who, via lobbying, set the royalty rate. How do we change this?
The only way to change that is the people you vote for.
Yeah, and
I'm telling you, like, the reason why I started getting a little bit more money in the last few years from records I worked on a long time ago is because the Recording Academy spent years lobbying politicians and actually got a law passed to actually get paid royalties that the rest of the world gets that we don't get in America. And finally, some of the stuff that if I were living in another country I would get, we're starting to get, but it still has a long way to go. I don't want to get all political here, but realize that generally speaking, here in America, there are some people that focus on big business and what helps them. And there's other people that supposedly are more looking out for the regular people, although they're being damn funded by big business as well. That's where we got to put the pressure on. Yeah, whatever side you're on, it's just like, come on, man. Like, listen, in America, we're living in an oligarchy. The decisions and the things that happen in the government aren't based on what average people want. It's what rich people can freaking pay for. And we've been getting ripped off musically under the royalties for decades now. It's gotten a little bit better, but we still got to put the pressure on. Got to put the pressure on. That's the only way it's ever going to change. It took the Recording Academy 10 years of lobbying to get this law passed a few years ago, and there's still way more to go. So, just keep that in mind. Some people are looking out for people, and some people are looking out for big money interests. Let's see. Somebody from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah,
Southeast Home Recording Studios.
I was just near there not long ago.
Yeah, Birmingham's a cool town. Baby Beardy Face says the Japanese band is just mono. So
I just caught that. So we're adding them.
Okay, now we're at 584 bands and artist recommendations.
No, this would be number 585 because we also had Omagaman.
Yeah, I don't pay for Spotify. We've got somebody here from Norway, Jerry. Nice to see.
And then we also had, where'd it go? South Africa. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, man. Thanks, Tylo.
Hey, Tylo, what's going on?
All right, I'll put a +1 on them.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Tylo had mentioned them before, so put them on the list.
Okay, and Tylo gets a +1.
Great conversation the other day, by the way, and I'm getting you that list for sure. Actually, let me put it on my list. I thought I had it on the list. Oh, my God. No, I do have it on the list.
Okay, Midnight Oil.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Poland,
I started to make a list on... sheet of paper here. Oh, I did want to mention something else here too. Another reason I've been like really behind on stuff with why I didn't stream last week. It's not just about the mixing, but when I go to my other studio, The Zone, which I wish I had more pictures ready right now. The studio, I've had that house for over 30 years, and I worked there and lived there for decades. I've been up here for 10 now, but I still have the studio. So I've got Darren Stanley moving in, and his girlfriend Ansley's moving in, and they've got 2 studios worth of gear. They're kind of taking over the studio. I'm still going to go there and mix, but he's got drums and all that. So every time I've gone there the last week to mix, there's this pile of stuff like, hey, Billy, can you take this home? So I've been bringing home stuff I didn't even know I owned, like furniture, sound panels, just a million things. But one of the things I brought home, and I kind of want to talk about this. This is a horn my mom bought me. I swear it was like 30 years ago. It was in the 80s. And I kind of shined it up. This was almost black. It was all tarnished, right? So my mom bought this for me, held on to it, and gave it to me for my birthday. And I had it hanging up at my other studio, The Zone, just like, just for, God, forever. It was just hanging on the wall in the control room. It was really dark, right? So I brought this home the other day because I'm not really working there. And I thought, I'll bring it here. But it was all black, and I started cleaning it up. And I don't know if you can see this, but as I cleaned it up, there's this intricate engraving or stamps on there. I don't know if you can see, like there's leaves and flowers and vines and stuff on there. And as I cleaned it up, you probably aren't going to be able to see this, but down here there's a date. It says 1889, patent pending 1889. So it may not have been built in 1889, but the design was patented then. But this thing's easily over 100 years old. And there was some other stuff. There's a serial number I could probably look up. So I started cleaning this up, and right now there's no air. I can't get air through it, although some of these things pull out. Is this a cornet, Crystal?
Yeah. Is it cornet or cornet? Cornet?
Cornet is how we said it in high school.
Cornet. Okay.
So like these, I'm going to clean it up. I mean, if I could get some sort of sound out of it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I've been doing research on it, and, that one says Worcester, Mass. was where it was manufactured.
Yeah, there's actually... And
they stopped. Apparently that plant closed. I wrote the date down, but it was something like in 1898 or something like that. So that one would have to be older than that. It was before 1900.
Wow.
So that one had to have been manufactured before then.
Yeah. So I want to see if I can. There's like a stuck valve here, and I can pull apart like some of the stuff I can take apart. I got to be careful about it. But I'm finished cleaning it up.
Beardy face, it doesn't play right now.
Yeah, if I can, because I can't get the air through it. So unless I open up some of the, it gets clogged up. It's pretty beat up. But here's the interesting thing: the only places that Crystal's been able to find pictures of this thing online are from 2 museums. There's a exact copy of this.
Yeah, one of them's the Smithsonian, and the other is the Met.
Yeah, so the only other pictures she's found of this thing is in 2 of the massive museums. I don't know where my mom got this. This thing should probably be in a museum, and it's kind of beat up.
Well, it's a little beat up. Yeah, I'm sure the others are in pristine condition.
Think about it. At some point, somebody was playing music on this thing like over 100 years ago, and I don't know if it was like a military band or
thank you,
a circus or thank you so much. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
But like maybe somebody was in a band and played it at a town square during the 4th of July or whatever. And whoever played it, as I was cleaning it, because it's silver cover, it's silver plated brass, and you can see here where some of the silver is worn up. It's kind of hard to see with this camera, but somebody would play this enough that their finger from playing this thing got played enough where, I can see places on here where it literally wore the silver coating off. So this thing's been hanging in my studio, The Zone in Norcross, for 30 years, and I didn't know how special it was. I was like, something my mom got. I wonder if my mom knew what this was. I don't know. But for 30 years, this hung on the wall in my studio, and it was only like a couple nights ago, staying up till 3 a.m. with Brasso cleaning this thing when I got other stuff to do. But once I started cleaning, it's like, oh, I got to clean this thing up. So anyway,
it was a side quest.
Yeah, this will probably make another appearance. No, $100 ain't going to do it. Now, if this thing were worth $20,000, I might sell it, because then my mom would probably tell me to sell it. Sell it for $20,000. I could use it to,
Pretty sure it's not worth that, though.
I don't think it's worth that. But hey, if the only other place we've been able to find one of these in better shape, of course, is the Smithsonian and the Met, then hey, it must be something special. Anyway, this will make another appearance on the stream.
And now Tylo's got us. We gotta, see if we can now we're kind of committed. You've got to try to fix the valves and stuff.
Well, the thing is, actually, here's the other crazy thing. When I started cleaning that thing, it was like late at night, and I was like, do we have any kind of metal clean? She's like, there's some Brasso that your mother had. My mom died, 10 years ago?
In 2010.
What?
I know. So that makes it, not quite 15 years ago.
So my mom died 15 years ago, and that Brasso was probably old. So we're probably using 20-year-old Brasso. Mm-hmm. So there's a little, and it was like thick in there, so I was shaking it. So I was using that. I ran out. So Tylo, I will use the money to go buy some more Brasso or whatever I should use to clean. It's tough, man. Let's see. I'm
adding more bands, Billy.
I can't imagine a software substitute for a decent hardware preamp or a channel strip. Yeah, I mean, I will say this. De-essers. I feel like the de-esser plugins are pretty damn good. I've got a vintage DBX. What is that? A FS900, which are classics. I've got a Drummer stereo de-esser here, which I'm actually using on this live stream right now, because somebody's complaining. Actually, let me turn it up a little bit. Somebody's complaining about my essing. But I feel like the plugins, that's the one thing that I can say, man, like, de-essers. So far, that's it. So, yeah, we'll use the horn for the gangsta. Oh, hey, maybe that's the thing. If I get to 100,000 subscribers, I'll do a gangster rap while blasting on the horn as I'm dancing in my underwear on the street out front. No, I won't do that. No. Might freak out my neighbors, especially out here. Jeez. Hey, Lisa Chase Wolf is saying Bright Boy over Brasso.
Okay,
let me
good
write
to
that
know.
down. Today's note day. Like, this thing's getting filled up here. Hold on.
Yeah, I've got an entire
Thanks,
notebook.
Lisa.
Yeah, because
Right.
one piece of paper ain't going to do it. I've got
Boy.
notes that I have to keep, tabs in my brain that have to stay open for months, as I gradually work my way through everything. So yeah, I've got a whole notebook, which is where I wrote down the date of the dates of manufacture for the horn and that kind of stuff. But
And what else was I going to talk? Oh, here's the other thing I was going to talk about, and this has been something that's been keeping me really busy lately, and that is at my other studio, the Zone. I had I had my control room, the sound room, and all that, but there was like a room I called the lounge, right? And in that lounge, I bought a couch. I bought a couch at an antique store. God, this would have been late 80s, 90s, whatever. And that room was like where people would go and hang out. I could also use it as an amp room. I had mic lines running there, so we could do amps in there, or maybe a horn player or whatever. But it was mostly a lounge. And as Darren started moving into the house, I mean, we kind of, actually, the last few years, it became like a storage room because I don't really use that room anymore. Darren moves in, and he's starting to clean it all up. And he's like, we got to get rid of this couch. It's falling apart. I mean, it's literally falling apart. Should I throw it in a dumpster? It's like, oh, no, that couch is kind of historical and famous. A lot of people sat on it. And here, let's go over to the doll here. I've got some pictures here. I don't know who that is right there, but that's the couch right there. And, of course, here we've got Lil Jon and Vince Phillips, his lawyer / business partner, and Bo Hagen sitting on the couch there. Here's a shot. I just realized today, Kit, Rick's actually not sitting on the couch.
it's true, he's not.
Yeah, so there's Rick Beato. And
I don't know if he's going to come out here and sit on the couch for you, though.
No, he is not. And that's Jay Heron sitting on the couch there. So that's Jay right there. Jay worked at 99X. I don't know who. Oh, that might have been his band. And that's Simon the dog. But yeah, there's a picture. So I hit up Rick like, hey, you got to come sit on the couch. He's like, I'm busy. Here's a shot of Bo Hagan once again, and then the East Side Boys. These two guys here were in the East Side Boys of Little John. This here is, okay, this is David Banner here. This, I think, one of these two is Rod, which is, I can't remember if it's Bizarre's brother or cousin or whatever. And then this is Bizarre right here doing the peace sign. He was in a group with Bone Crusher. And let's see. And then I've got more. I've got...
So many you haven't scanned yet.
Yeah, I don't know who these people are. I don't have anything written. I don't even know what year. Here's somebody. If that's you, let me know. Oh, and you see that Bob Marley? Oh, I wonder where my Bob Marley hanging is. That was like...
Oh, you're right.
You see that Bob Marley thing right there?
That yet.
That was like a wall hanging that was on a lamp. And it's somewhere. I think it's so. Oh, this is a band called Lift. This is a group I did with Rick Beato. Really damn good group. This is... I'm not sure who the other two guys are, but that's China White. She's not technically sitting on the couch. I think she's sitting on the floor and leaning against the couch. But China White was in the group called Full Time Family. That was a thing that Little John produced and put together and all that, and I worked on that. And then this is, I don't know who, wait. Oh, I think this is, oh my God, I forgot his name. It was that group from Louisville, Kentucky. I think it's that dude, and we ended up talking on the phone for years afterwards. He had an NPC that would get hot, so this little mini fan, like a small fan he would carry around and blow it on his NPC. I just remember that. And then this is Jeremy Solis right there, the guy with the longer hair. Jeremy Solis is kind of part of a scene here in Atlanta. I don't know who that other guy is. Jeremy's kind of out there, but really interesting artist. I don't know who this is. Somebody playing my 12-string electric guitar, sitting in that on the couch. Now, this is the next one is the most photographed person ever sitting on the couch, my buddy Sky Keaton. So Sky, I found these envelopes. I have like 40 pictures of him sitting on this couch. I think we're doing like, hey, we need a photo shoot of you. So I've got 1,000,000 pictures of him just sitting on this couch, black and white, color, kind of different poses. He got a picture on the couch. And then this, I don't know who these people are. They're just sitting there on the couch. So what I'm doing is I went and got the couch. I didn't think it should be thrown in a dumpster. I felt like it needed a good send-off. So this Saturday, weather permitting, although I still may do it if it rains, I've got the couch sitting out back behind the studio here. I'm going to have people come out and sit on the couch, ones that didn't get photographed, because I know certain people that work there a lot. And we're going to take pictures of people on the couch. I realize I have no picture of me on the couch because I was always taking pictures and working. I didn't have time to sit back and chill out. Kit, there's no picture of you on the couch.
You've got a picture of me on the the control room couch that wasn't a couch.
Yeah, there was the couch that was actually a seat from a van.
Yes, a bench seat
no
from
picture on
a
that.
van.
And so we're going to take pictures of people on the couch, and then at a certain point, we're all going to carry the couch down to the field out behind my house here, and we're going to burn it like a ceremony. That's happening Saturday. Easier said than done. So I've been trying to get everything ready because the grass was really high, so I had to literally cut a pathway through the tall grass. That's where we're going to burn it. Anyway, I'm thinking about live streaming the burning. So I got to figure out how to get a camera from here down to there. And I'm thinking I bought these little connectors here that will allow me to chain Ethernet cables together. So if I could put a Wi-Fi router down there, I could do it with a cell phone because it's too far away from the house. So that might happen on Saturday. You might see the burning. So there we go.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make it streamable.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That may happen. That may happen. So stand by that. If it happens, I'm just gonna stream it. So keep an eye out.
Hey, Gat. Another question. So many of the new school producers and engineers are afraid of analog gear. They fear all the wiring, patching, cabling, and so on. What advice might you have for an in-the-box producer who dreads analog? I mean,
to make it sound warmer. I mean, I don't actually record on analog that much. I mean, I run out to it sometimes. I've got a lot of outboard gear here, like mic pre's and all that. I mean, there's some good tape emulation plugins out there. Actually, I did a live stream 2 weeks ago where I tried out tape emulator plugins, and I never really used them that much, and I was kind of blown away. Like some of them, it was interesting. I have a bunch of the Universal Audio tape emulator plugins. I didn't necessarily like them on the individual instruments so much. I liked them on buses, like maybe on the drums or on the mix bus and all that. What was interesting is that there wasn't one particular one that stood out more than any other one. I know that the Pulsar modular tape emulator plugin, which they sent me a few weeks ago to try out, which is amazing. And then there was one of the, I think it was like, it might have been the Ampex Universal Audio one, which was pretty good. There's always those. And as far as like being in digital, I use distortion and saturation all the time. I know, obviously I never did that back in the analog days because it was natural to happen. My main thing is that often things that are supposed to sound like tape emulators they're not really going to do as much as just getting a good tape saturation plugin. And I'm actually starting up Pro Tools so I can show you something here. And there's one in Ableton too that the thing with tape emulator plugins, they get kind of complicated sometimes where there's like, you got the speed and you got all these different things and it can almost be confusing. But what you're trying to go for with tape is that tape would soften up the transients. So transients are things like when a drum hits or whatever, it's this little quick spike really quickly at the beginning. And digital captures all that stuff, which is one of the things that's good about it. But it can make things sound harsh. Like what ends up happening with audio, when we think something's harsh, it's not that the harshness is happening all the time. It's usually that the initial attack of a drum or something percussive is really harsh. Same with frequencies, like on vocals. Oh, the vocals sound harsh. They're not harsh all the time. It's going to be certain times where 3.8K or 4K just jump out on a particular singer depending on the vowel or the word they're singing. You got to knock that down. So to me, the thing I'm trying to do is I'm going to see if I can open up something. I'm just going to open up something here. It's not even a session, but to me, it's more about finding something that's going to soften up the transient. So here in Pro Tools, and this isn't a session, this is actually a routing thing. I'm going to show this to you. If you're in Pro Tools, oh, hold on. I got to switch monitors here. 1 second. All right, let me switch back. Okay. So this plugin here in Pro Tools, this is called the Lo-Fi plugin. And I think there's a newer version of this. Hold on, let me check it out. We got Lo-Fi. Yeah, there's this one too. This is the newer version. I don't use this one. I use the older one. This is like the legacy one. And I'd never use it for lo-fi. I've got better ways to do it, but I want to show you something here. You see this little knob right here where it says distortion? I just go like this. I turn it up to like 0.5 on certain things, especially like vocals and stuff. I'll do like my compression, my EQ and all that. Then I'll add this on there. It says distortion, but it's not distortion like you think about it. It's kind of more, this plugin's weird. I swear that the saturation, definitely saturation. The distortion actually sounds more like another kind of saturation. I'll put this after all my plugins in Pro Tools and then the de-esser after this. And sometimes it's only at like 0.3. On the Dusters records, I'm maybe doing 0.1 a couple times. But that thing will, to me, accomplishes a lot of the things that, I'm trying to accomplish in, by it's going to do some of the same things that tape will as far as softening up a sound. Another thing you can do is right here in Ableton. Where is it? They've got, hold on. There's a good one here. Where is it? Oh, it's just the standard saturator right here. Yeah, so sometimes all you got to do is put this on there and just go, just a little bit of this, right? Now, this plug-in here, what it'll do, it'll make it louder. You got to counteract. Don't let yourself get fooled. You start pushing up that drive, it makes it louder. Try to set this so you can A-B, so the volumes are the same. But sometimes I'll do that. I'll do the sine sometimes setting, and sometimes the medium curve if I want something more aggressive. But that right there will actually accomplish a lot of what I used to like tape for without using a tape plugin and without getting too deep inside all the bias and all that kind of stuff. That's just my go-to. Just a way to kind of like add a little fuzz on it, because that's what you're trying to get. Let's see, what else have we got here?
I don't know. I'm still adding
Lisa
bands to our
Chasewell
list.
says MPCs only overheat when the beat is hot.
That's right.
Let's see. And also, Lebo Gang. The reason people are afraid of analog has a lot to do with the cables. I mean, it scares the shit out of me, even though I know how to do it. But I wouldn't say go out and buy a bunch of stuff. If anything, if you're saying you're totally in the box, you're probably running into your interface and using emulators. At some point, try buying some different microphones and stuff like that. Let me, I know I've talked about this before. I'm going to go grab something. I'll be right back.
I guess since Billy's off camera, I'll take the opportunity to remind y'all to hit like on this video. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. Make sure to hit the notification button if you want to know when Billy releases videos or when he goes live. Over there on Twitch, thank you guys for watching with us today. Make sure that you followed. If you want to subscribe, obviously, we very much appreciate that. And y'all, if you haven't seen the new video with the bands that Billy checked out, you should check them out. There's like some really cool stuff. So we've got like, I think 2 videos now where Billy has talked about some bands, and it's kind of been fun to check out people's recommendations.
Okay, so kind of going back, like if you're totally in the box, and I don't know if you're doing any actual recording of things. There's other things you can do. First off, probably the easiest thing is buy yourself one of these. This is a Shure SM57. Casey used one of these back there? Oh, I'm looking the wrong way.
Hey, Casey.
Casey, right back here behind me. Anyway, this is like a $100 mic. It's just a dynamic mic. Mostly used for snare drums and guitars like that. But hey, I've used this on mandolin, acoustic guitar. People do use them on vocals. It's a kind of a classic mic. And this is another way, like instead of using a really expensive mic for vocals, experiment with something like this, or double. If you're doubling vocals, do one with the expensive mic, double one with this. I have 8 of these things. I use them all the time for a million different things. Another mic is another cheap mic. This is Sennheiser 609. Similar to that last one. Yeah, 609. And once again, good for guitars and all that. You could use it on vocals. If you look at old videos of Pink Floyd, they were using this. This is I got this in this is a 409. They don't make these anymore. People will use these on vocals. If you listen to some old Pink Floyd records, they're actually singing into this stuff. I've had to refix this one several times. It's a good way to just get a different sound. Like, then you could buy a bunch of gear, but the number one thing you can do is, oh, Maxim, what's going on? Oh, my God, it's been so long since I talked to you. And I'm going to swing back to you, Maxim, in a second here. I want to mention Maxim in a second here. But this is one of the number one things you can do to, get some uniqueness out of the sound, kind of get an analog thing back into it. And here's another trick. And I know I've talked about this a lot. I bought this in a thrift store the other day for $5. And the funny thing is, I've actually already got 2 of these, but I'm missing one of them because it was with my dad's stereo. It's an 1/8" jack. You'll just have to put a little adapter on it, and then you would plug it into, like, if you have an interface, you would just plug it straight into an instrument input and use that. It'll see it as an instrument, the impedance, or you can use a DI box. It's going to be a little noisy. This mic here, wouldn't use it for vocals, but for percussion, my God. And sometimes on a crappy guitar, like you want a crappy guitar sound, this is one of my favorite mics, $5, Here's a classic. I mean, and here's the funny thing. This is actually good for percussion. You can find these online. This is a Sony, like little for a cassette deck, and it's got 2 jacks on it because it was designed so that when you hit the on-off button, it would start the tape player off and on, but you just want to plug into the 1/8 inch one. I got this for $5 in a thrift store, again. And these are little things that you can do without spending a lot of money. And, people will say things like, yeah, you can go to your plugins for it. It's like, yeah, but everybody's got those plugins. This is a way to be unique. Here's another one. Here's a Sony. I think I bought this for $3. Yeah, it's not as great. I just like it because it looks good and it's metal. It feels good. But these are, yeah. It's got the little adapter. So I just, I'm actually using a stereo adapter. I should probably use a mono one, but it works fine. And those are some of the things that you can do to kind of add some spice. And you don't even need to have a fancy interface. As a matter of fact, I've got a video about this called My Secret Unique Production Techniques, where I use a bunch of these cheap microphones, and I'm not going through any fancy mic presets. As a matter of fact, I'm using either cheap microphones or SM57s going straight into my Universal Audio interface. I'm not even using any plug-in emulators. I'm just literally going in and cranking up the gain. And I did a bunch of sampling and I recorded a bunch of stuff, and it came out amazing. And actually use this on some kind of bass type sounds. I was hitting this plastic jug. The thumbnail's got a big old...
I put a link in the comments.
Yeah, kids, check out this link here if you want to get inspired. Check out this video here. My unique music production techniques revealed. And it kind of explains some of that. That's one of the best things you can do without spending a lot of money. You don't need to. Let's see. Radio Star says the UAD SC1 is a nice vocal mic for the price. The modeling plugin comes with it, lets you emulate like 8 classic mics, and the mic itself is a Bach capsule. I think it's like $500. Yeah, Raygun, I haven't tried that one out. I have the Slate ML1, which is only a few $100, and I had they gave me the software for a while, and then they yanked it away from me. I don't know why, but hey, the mic sounds pretty good. It's a large diaphragm condenser, pretty damn good for the money. I just bought a Mr. Entertainer pink mic for trying on the guitar cab. Cost me £7. What is that, Mr. Hold on. Y'all give me such good ideas. Hold on, let me look this up. Mr. Entertainer mic. What is this? Oh, it's a karaoke mic. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Hey, let me know how it goes. I actually saw some of these in a thrift store and I didn't buy them. They're all different colors. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, look at that. I mean, that'd just be cool to have in the studio just because there's a bunch of different colors. But seriously, and they're not all the same. Like, I got these cheap mics. Some of them just sound like crap, but then you use them in a certain situation, they sound great. So, cheapest way to get a sound. Casey, you notice that I don't know how you're here and there at the same time. How is it that you're sitting here and you're commenting and I don't even see your hands move? That's freaking amazing to me. I don't know how he does that. Let's see. Hector Pompo.
Oh, what were you going to say to Maxim?
Oh, Maxim. I want to swing back to Maxim up here. So, Maxim, and thanks so much for the tip. So, Maxim K was one of my earliest, kind of big fans on Instagram and was watching some of my live streams back. I think I was probably streaming at times it was more convenient for him. But Maxim put together a Spotify playlist. Maxim spent a lot of time doing this of things that I mixed and produced, or was it just mixed? Can you put that link up there? I know it's on my Instagram.
Which one?
It's the Spotify playlist. It's things that Billy Hume mixed or something like that. It's on my link tree, and there's a lot of stuff on there. Maxim, is it just the rap stuff I did, or did you start including other stuff? I can't remember. But yeah, Maxim did a lot of research into that and put this Spotify playlist together of stuff because people always asking what I worked on. Sometimes people like, that old guy, what has he ever done? Well, I've done a few things. So, You know, it's not like I'm just making this crap up. I mean, sometimes I make stuff up, but I wouldn't mislead anybody on anything important. Maybe just silly things. The old Mr. Microphone. But Mr. Microphone, I thought was like, Mr. Microphone was just like a fake mic, wasn't it? Hold on, Mr. Microphone.
Where is
Wait a
the
sec.
damn link?
Yeah, wait. Mr. Microphone wasn't a real mic, wasn't it? Hold on, let me see. Mr. Microphone, I'm looking it up here. Oh, there's nothing really on Wiki. I remember that. I thought it was a fake microphone. That would be something, to have a fake microphone. Well, anyway. Let's see. Okay, so Maxim just put it all. It's been a while since I looked. But yeah, thanks so much, Maxim, for putting that together for me. Oh. He says Mr. Microphone had an antenna and tapped into local FM frequencies and radios. Ooh. So would you sing through your radio? It had a built-in speaker. Hold on, man. See, now it's like I want to buy one of these, but I can't. I'm looking online here. I can't. I typed in Mr. Microphone. It's not coming up with anything on the buying thing here. Oh, wait. Walmart. Instructables. Well, there's a hack here. That might be something to try out. A wireless toy into a modern high-tech spy device. What? Boy, it's been so long. Mr. Microphone. It's designed to transmit your voice over the low end of the FM band. So you could literally sing through your radio? Oh, okay. I'm going to leave this tab up here. Oh, wait, there's a lot of soldering involved. Oh, my God. See, this is one of those things that's dangerous. I'll either destroy it or I'll actually make something work. I've actually managed to fix a couple things recently and didn't destroy something when I was trying to solder. So I'll try that out. That might be fun. Let's see. You could sing along with the radio. Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. I found the link to the Spotify playlist. It's in the chat. I'm getting it over on Twitch now.
Okay. Yeah, it's taken a while. Yeah. So, yeah, Kit's putting up the link to the playlist that Maxim K made on Spotify with, I guess, pretty much all my work. Hold on. Let's see. Let me go look at it. Oh, no, I'm over here. Hold on. Actually, it's been a while since I looked. Okay, here we go. This is what Maxim put together for me. Mixed by Billy Hume. And it goes on. Throw some D's, Party Like a Rock Star. I played guitar on that as well. Never Scared. Gripping the Grain. Gripping the Grain is actually interesting because it's used in bass competitions. There's videos online of this song I mixed called Gripping the Grain by Bone Crusher, and the low end is huge. People have destroyed their windshields, their trunks, their cars by playing my mix. Like a Pimp, David Banner, a bunch of stuff. Some, of course, Yin Yang Twins, a bunch of Yin Yang Twin stuff. Be a, moo bitch. Put your hood up. Put your hood up. There's some massive vocals on that. I did that probably on ADATs. Let's see. There's something, I mixed something with T-Pain on it. Oh, I mixed Hero for Nas with Kelly Hilson on it. Well, there's an interesting story behind that song that eventually there was another version of the song is all I'm going to say. That was, I thought, better than the one they put out. That would, I think would have been a massive hit. This one charted for like a week. I Smoke, I Drank with Magic. And, hold on. I got a story to tell about Magic, and I might as well talk about it now. So Magic was a rapper from Louisiana. And Magic, hold on, I'm looking for something. Yeah. So Magic, he worked with Roy Jones Jr., who at the time was a world champion boxer. And Magic, I don't even know how, I think he mixed something, and then he liked working in the studio, so he'd either work with me or in my B room with Joel Mullinix, who was working there at the time. And Magic was one of the funniest guys in the freaking world. Let me see if I can find a picture of him here. I've got some from the studio, but they're not really good. But Magic was just an interesting person. So this is Magic here. Yeah, there he is. And I mean, he looks all tough in the pictures and some of these posters. He looks like he might just hold on. I'm looking. There's actually here's another one of him right here. Yeah. And hold on. I'm trying to find. Okay. I can't find it. But anyway, I've got so many stories about Magic. Oh my God, he was so funny. And he would tell these stories. And there's one story he would tell about going fishing with Roy Jones Jr., the boxer, that went on for like an hour. It was this long story. And I was laughing so hard, I was crying, right? And there was this one night where I had to leave the studio. And Magic was working there. And I guess he was working with Joel. And when I got back oh, hold on. I'm trying to get something ready to show you here. When I got back the next morning, this note right here, this is from Magic, was on my mixer. I hope y'all can read this. I found this the other day cleaning up the studio and scanned it a few days ago. I totally forgot about this thing. Should I read it?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Magic, here's the note that Magic wrote to me. Magic said, I hit your stash, he says, Billy, I hit your stash spot. I ran out of weed and almost had a heart attack. I'll replace it, I promise. If you're upset, just call me and cuss me out. But remember, it is always better for you to find no weed than to find a dead black man in your studio.
Mr. Magic.
Yeah. Oh, no, Mr. Magic is what he wrote at the bottom. So funny. So damn funny. So anyway, I thought about him because of the Spotify playlist, which, I just lost it again. Yeah. So, yeah, I saw that because I mixed that song, I Smoke, I Drank. That's kind of think how we met because I did that. We've got Praying Man from Big Crit.
Which, by the way, y'all, that is a really cool song. You
Praying
ought to
Man?
check it out. Yeah, Praying Man.
Yeah, that was going to be there was going to be a video for that and with Spike Lee, I think that's his name, was going to direct it. Didn't happen. Let's see what else we got on here. There's, of course, a bunch of rehab stuff. Like you see Bump here, but I did a bunch of songs on the Graffiti the World album. I actually sang background vocals and co-wrote a bunch of those songs. We got Left Front Tire, more Left Front Tire, Infamous String Dusters, of course. Let's see what else we got on here. Yin Yang Twins. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff on here. A bunch of Little John stuff, of course. David Banner. Let's see, Bone Crusher, Hitman, Sammy Sam. Oh my God. Let's see, Blackjack. There's more Graffiti of the World. Shop Boys, of course. More Dusters. The Pack, which was a group that Ludacris, I think that there's a group that Ludacris had signed. Did a bunch of mixing for it. I got a funny story about Ludacris in the studio, but I don't know if I should tell that right now. Al Capone, of course. Big Sky, a rock group from Florida. BG, I Want It. Local group here in Atlanta called Film, which was really, really good. Flicker Stick, which was, I think they're from Canada. Giant Panda Gorilla Dub Squad. It's a reggae group, but they actually did like a kind of bluegrass album. I mixed that. I actually mixed a couple things for them. More Infamous Strength. Kizzy Rock, band called Lazy Eye from Atlanta. Michelle Malone from Atlanta. Boy, this goes on. Sound Tribe Sector 9, I recorded and mixed their first album. Rich Boy, of course. And let's see what else we got on here. It goes on.
Maxim, thank you.
Yeah, this is all
a lot
Maxim
to
K here.
collate.
Like, yeah, so thanks for doing that, Maxim. Like, there's still more stuff, but you could go on forever with that.
Okay, I found Praying Man. I'm going to throw up a link.
Okay, cool. Yeah, great song. Oh, interesting thing about Praying Man. So Crit did that using a sample, and he couldn't clear it. So he paid me to recreate the sample. So I brought in Marty Kearns to play some keyboards. I did some guitar and bass on it. the song actually is the last thing that B.B. King ever recorded. And so I had Big Crit, B.B. King, and then I had to create this loop underneath it. So technically speaking, I'm playing guitar on the last record with B.B. King. I never met him, but it was interesting. I could hear the outtakes and I could hear them talking and stuff. Pretty fascinating. I've got those files somewhere. Lisa Chasewolf says, you know what I've always wanted to do, but I've never gotten around to, vocals through those kid microphone plastic toys from the 80s and 90s. Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Nice. Let's see. Oh, somebody says, Joel on YouTube says, what's your favorite genre to record in terms of improvising, unusual recording, and mic techniques? I mean,
Your own.
Huh?
Your own.
I mean, my own. Well, of course, my own. Yeah. Because, yeah. But it's really more about, it's not the genre as much as the people. I'll say that one of the reasons I got into doing rap music was, besides the fact that I just loved the people. They started coming over and I just never met people like that in my life. And it was just, it was so great. But the other thing is, I never felt held back by any of the rappers. They, like, if I wanted to experiment with something or try something or put guitar on something, nobody was like, there were no discussions. Oh, we should talk about it. It was very much like, well, let's just find out. And there was a lot of freedom there. And although I've had some rappers that weren't like that, a lot of rock bands in the 90s were not into experimentation. It's different now. More people are into experimentation. It could be any genre if the people are willing to try some new things, right? But ultimately, I prefer to record my own music because then it's just like, whatever. I can do anything I want. I can take it as far as I want, and then I can just delete it, which I do delete a lot of stuff. And there's so many things I do that I don't keep. But that's my favorite. Somebody said, Hector says, I made my first recordings with headphones half plugged into the microphone input.
Only half plugged in? That would be interesting.
Are you using your headphones as a microphone? Is that what you're saying? I think so. I've heard of that before.
Oh, hold up the cornet, is it cornet? Yeah, because AM was asking if there's trombone players here, and they missed the thing earlier. So there it is. Check out the replay.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. My mom bought this for me decades ago, and see, I'm totally like, look, that's so fake. Look at that. I don't know how I'm going behind Casey there.
It's amazing.
My mom bought this for me decades ago, and it was hanging up in my control room at my other studio, and it was pretty much black with just, stuff like, I don't know. Tarnish.
Because it's silver over
and
brass.
I brought it back because I have to clean out the other studio because Darren's moving in. So I brought it back, and I started cleaning this off, and there's like really fancy engravings on it. It goes back to 1889.
Well, sometime between, that's the latest it might have been.
Somewhere around there. But Kit looked this up online. The only two pictures she can find of this, there's one in the Smithsonian and one at the Met. So apparently,
the one at the Met is almost the same, but the one at the Smithsonian is the same exact make and model.
Oh, that was the one you're showing me. I mean, it doesn't play. There's I can't get air through it. But I'm going to clean it up some more. I'm going to see if I can get it working, and then maybe when I get to 100,000 subscribers, I'll see if I can play something on it, and then I'll do a rap song or something like that.
Tylo has donated to the Restoration Fund.
Yes. I ran out of Brasso. Oh, yeah, and I was cleaning it with Brasso. That was probably 30 years old, too, because it was here in the house that my mom owned it. I ran out, so now I wrote it down. I'm going to get this bright.
Yeah, I love audio stuff. That thing's had some history. It is a bit bent up.
And this was used a lot because, as I was saying earlier, this is silver-plated brass, and as I cleaned it off, you can see where his fingers wore off the silver coating. Somebody played this enough to wear off the silver coating. Somebody made music with this, had experiences with this, went out,
dropped it.
People
Clearly
listened to it. Obviously it's been dropped a bunch of times. But think about that. Somebody's air, their breath, their life force went through this thing, and then their spit came through, and they would hit the spit valve, which was always gross in band when these guys would have the spit valve. Ugh. Especially if they didn't have a rag and they would just go on the floor. But somebody did do that. Well, I mean,
Oh, thank you for the raid sound bites.
Oh, thanks so much.
We're just chilling today.
Yeah,
just
it's a low
talking about stuff.
No agenda today because I was totally unplanned and I wasn't going to stream like last week because I got a bunch of work to do and I realized I just missed everybody and I like just getting on here and talking. So yeah, welcome so much.
Okay, there's a couple of quick questions. Utah Ollinger said, are you ever going to do some mix reviews where we pay you to listen to our mix and then tell us how to make them better?
Yeah, there's that guy, the dude from Canada with the long hair and the glasses. Boy, that's unique. God, I forget his name. He's the guy whose wife had the stroke recently. Oh my God, what's his name? He does that. I was kind of looking at his whole model. I guess we could. I have so many things on the list that I
Lisa
need.
Chase Wolf says Glenn. Is it Glenn?
I can't remember his name. I see him all the time.
Spectre Sound.
Spectre Sound. Yes, Spectre Sound. Thanks. Yeah, he does that. Yeah, I could probably do something like that. It's just, to be honest with you, there's so much going on in my life. Like the last few years, especially this last year with things starting to blow up, I'm trying to get some merch together. I'm trying to keep work going because I don't really make my living off YouTube and this stuff yet. Trying to just get it all together, trying to keep the videos going out. The thing with paying for somebody to pay, you put out the mixes and they pay for it and I get why. And then you do it. There's actually a whole infrastructure, and I looked at what he's doing. It's actually really smart, but it's a bit of work and learning, and I just don't have the time. Eventually we'll get around to it. It'll happen eventually. Just hang tight. I move slowly sometimes because I'm very diligent, but it eventually happens.
I Love Audio Stuff asked you, do you think that headphone quality is overrated? In general, I think.
Headphone quality?
Because people are always getting into deep discussions about these headphones versus those headphones.
Yeah, George was talking about these people that try out earbuds and stuff, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I want to see if I can get some of those Audis headphones that people can mix on. I haven't tried those out. I don't mix on headphones. I don't know, but we're also talking about using headphones as a mic. And so he's like, you stick it at halfway. Now that's something, hold on, I got to write that on my list. I'm going to try that too. Headphone as a mic. Hold on. So I guess you're saying stick them in halfway? Try.
Yeah, G.S. Horn was saying, and usually the left ear is what ends up working as a mic.
I'll try. It's a great idea. So if you're asking if the quality of headphones as a microphone is good or bad, I don't know. But as far as quality of headphones in general, they're all different. I've got these biodynamic headphones back here. They're big. People like them because they're boomy. I don't really like them that much, but sometimes people, it's to me when it comes to headphones, I just have the client try on several different ones. I just have them pick what they like the sound of. But I know that those Beats headphones were overpriced for sure, and then I tried some. I was like, I thought they sounded terrible. I've got right now. I'm using these Audio-Technica M50Xs. They look a little different. Whoops. They look a little different because Harper bought me these custom ear pads because mine were coming apart. But yeah, these are so far. These have been my favorite. I don't mix on them, but for doing sessions and all that for the price, I love these. I really like these a lot.
These Audio-Technicas, they're kind of the workhorses of the studio.
It is now. In the old days, it was like these Sonys, and then there was another brand that everybody used for a while. So, let's see. I like the Philips headphones, the ones with the big L and R on the can. So, yeah. Boy, trying to figure out. Usually the side with the cable's the left side. That's how I figure it out. Rick says, I mix on studio monitors, cheap earbuds, and the same old Sennheisers to keep myself honest since my room is treated not perfect. Yeah. I want to get some headphones that I can, mix on or reference. I just don't trust any of these. I'm looking at those Audis headphones. It's one of my goals. Maybe say I can get a sponsorship out of them or something like that, and because the good ones are really expensive. Yeah.
Soundbites TV notes that the M50X are great. I mix in them after I'm done with monitor mixes, but save headphone mixing for last. Thank you for the follow, Halcyon.
Your Audio-Technica M50X is snapped. Oh my God. You must have been throwing them around because I've dropped them. I've dropped these things so
Billy
many
is
times.
hard on stuff, so if
I
he
break
hasn't
things
destroyed
all
them
the-
and
oh
you
my
have,
God.
that's pretty impressive.
I break things like you would not believe. I'm tough on things. AKG headphones still work for Tylo Productions. I think it was the AKGs. I used to have these old school ones that you would see like the Who used in some of the old videos where it was like round and then it had this pad that went on your head and then these two wires, and they sounded amazing, but they're very uncomfortable because the ear pads were not thick enough, so the grill would push on your ears, and after about 30 minutes I had to take them off.
Yeah,
User Hollycon on Twitch says, hey, what's going on? Just a chill stream today. I'm just talking. I'm just hanging out and talking. Didn't have an agenda today. Wasn't prepared for anything because a lot's been going on, but I just decided to stream and just talk about stuff, whatever. I think I already went over all my agendas. Well, not agendas, the subjects. I mean, right now it's just mixing. I'm just mixing these days. Mixing and trying to get stuff together here at the studio. That's about it.
Mixing, but I mean, the list never ends. There's the couch burning, and we're working on merch, and you've got this big album project coming up that's going to be like a full band.
Well, I only believe something's going to happen when we get the deposit. I mean,
Right.
There's no reason why they wouldn't pay, but
No,
that's
they
just how I
sound
am.
really excited about it, and I just need to hit
I'm
her
going
up.
to be doing
and
a whole album here this summer, two chunks. I had them here last year, pretty well-known band, and it'll be tracking a full band, not a huge band, and we'll be doing there'll be some tracks and then band, and some of the stuff will probably, I got to go down to his spot and work on some new songs.
got a
'cause they're not
couple
really
of
written
pre-production
yet.
meetings.
But yeah, that's going to be big. So, Maxim K saying he would
Yeah,
love
we
to have-
talked about those earlier,
the
Maxim.
Billy
I
Hume wig,
actually
dude,
have looked into it.
So many people said I think we're actually going to do the Billy Hume wig. Oh my
Well,
God.
we'll see. Yeah, but yeah, I started looking into it. So, yeah, a lot more, some more recommendations for headphones over here.
Yeah, I want to do more of the flying the wall live streams. I just haven't really been doing much sessions lately. I've been doing a lot of mixing. That's how it goes for me. I'll have like bunch of mix work, then I'll get a bunch of production. Of course, these days I'm mostly doing video. So, okay, he's saying Audio Odyssey. Oh, Odyssey. Oh, Odyssey. They just spell it weird. Odyssey. Okay, I mean, that makes sense.
All right, chat. Gilbert wants to know what's a good name for a mildly psychedelic indie rock band. So go.
Don't ask me. I'm terrible with band names. I come up with worse ones. Yeah, hats, shirts, guitar picks, and stickers. Yeah.
We're going to start pretty much with shirts and stickers. You know, got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And start working out the kinks of how we do this. And then, yeah, we'll totally be looking at more fun merch beyond the hats and stickers.
What's going on in
Do you know Mike Powell, Billy?
Mike Powell?
Hi-fi guy. I don't know.
Name sounds familiar. I mean, hey, look, if you're asking me if I know somebody, like you're
There's
talking
a
about the guy, I
chance.
go to goddamn family reunions and can't remember. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Remember names of cousins. I can't get the names of the cats right. I call Gigi Gabby. I call Gabby Gigi.
I mean, I've called the kids by the dogs' names before, you know, when they were closer to the same size.
Mike Powell. I don't know.
Oh, Tylo suggests we have a little round sticker with a fly on it for the fly on the wall fans.
Can you
Okay, we've
can you
got the
I like
Flying
that.
Fuzzy
Can you-
Freaks
can
for a
you
band
write
name.
that down, Kit? I like that idea.
Danger Box.
Billy Hume, Fly on the Wall. Kit, can you write that idea down from Tylo?
Yes, I shall. Hold on.
Oh, that's great. I don't know if they can use Grateful Dead. That's just, I think that's been
Lisa
used.
Chase Wolf recommends Tootsie Fit.
Ooh, I like that. Band names are tough. I was thinking about that Amel and the
Amel and the Sniffers.
Sniffers from Australia. Like, I love that. Oh, okay. Casey, that's a good idea. Yeah, and I'm probably not going to be doing a flat. Now, okay, now the next, the full album thing is coming up. One of the things we're talking about doing is I had Darren Stanley in here for like an 8 or 9 hour stream where he came in and worked on a couple of my songs and put drums on it. We streamed everything from loading in the gear and working out parts, tuning drums and all that. I'm thinking about having him come out because people have been asking about sample libraries and loop libraries, and that dude he comes up with grooves. So I'm thinking about having him up here for like a couple days because he's got a lot of drums too. Oh my God, he's got a crazy collection of drums, and we would like record drum loops and samples and all that. And I'm thinking about doing a fly on the wall for that, and that could go for literally at least 2 days. I might end up streaming 2 or 3 days in a row.
Not straight.
No, yeah, no, it would be straight.
We're just you'll just go
No,
sleep.
I mean I'll go to bed. I'm not going to live stream me laying in bed. But I will stream.
It occurs to me that on Twitch and sometimes YouTube, there are streamers who just like go to bed and leave it streaming.
Yeah, there was that one guy that streamed for 24 hours and you could go watch him sleep. You know, I mean, I did.
That'd be riveting,
for a
wouldn't
little
it,
while.
y'all?
It wasn't very long. It was like, this is boring. Yeah. And the fly on the wall thing, I've got to swing back to it. In fact, man, I just hadn't had any sessions, you know? I mean, sometimes I'll stream me working on things, but it's not really the same. I'm just going to call those studio hangs or something like that.
Well, yeah, because when you're working for yourself, you're more
Hey,
likely
Harry,
to
what's going on?
take a little break and talk to people a little bit. But the fly on the wall, you're busy.
Yeah. I'll do some more of those. It's you know, the thing with me is it's kind of hard to get into a groove, right? Like, because my life is complicated and I'm doing so many things. It's not like I just do YouTube or I just am mixing or I'm just producing or I'm just whatever. Or I'm just live streaming. I'm doing a little bit of everything and things happen. And then, you know, and there's family and stuff too. You know, I got 3 kids and last night, I should have been working on some shorts last night and I ended up hanging out with one of my kids in the garden. Like I have a quote unquote garden. It's really just more like a hangout area, but I got a trellis and I got kiwi vines growing and I got cool lights. And we went down there and I think we were down there for like an hour and a half just talking. And I should have been up here editing video, but you know, you got to hang out with your kids sometimes. And he's incredibly creative. The kid's got like movies in his head and it was just fascinating. So I just mostly just listen to him talk. So sometimes
He
it's
can
stuff
talk.
like that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Well, we've been going about, I guess, an hour and a half here.
Yeah, I'm just hitting the point where like my my YouTube starts to freeze up and everything starts to freak out.
Yeah. And like I said, I wasn't going to stream today. I just kind of came on to talk to everybody. I had no agenda. We did a deep dive live stream on Patreon this last Sunday, and I know some of the people here were on that. I was going over mixing bluegrass music. I hope it was educational to people because it's one of those things where it's like every song's different. So I hope I was able to like show some things and answer some questions.
And yeah, what
There's no
Billy's
right-
talking about, y'all, for those of you that don't know, is Billy has a Patreon, and one of the things that he does there is, and it's currently at a very low level at $10 and up, he'll do a couple of streams a month usually where he just really focuses on something that has to do with mixing or production and just goes in deep on it. And these are much more educational than a lot of the videos, because doing that kind of thing in an edited video for YouTube is extremely difficult for Billy to do. And a lot of people just learn so much from watching Billy work and having their questions answered. So that's a Patreon perk. If you guys are interested, go on over to Billy's Patreon. And if you subscribe at the $10 level and above, you can check some of those out.
Plus, it's a situation where, unlike the fly on the walls, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But on the deep dive live streams, people can ask questions and it might head me off in another direction. Well, that happened one time. We were talking about mixing drums. That's what the agenda was, but ended up spending 3 hours just on kick drum, I think. Just kick drum. Then somebody else suggested we go over mic pre's. So on the next deep dive, I recorded something with the same mic on every mic pre that I own here. And it was interesting because I used to do that back in the day when I was trying to learn about this stuff, but I realized I'd bought a bunch of mic pre's and I hadn't done anything like that. So actually going through all the different mic pre's and trying them out and kind of trying different levels was educational to me. It really got me thinking about a couple things. So, and then this last one, like I said, it was just bluegrass, mixing the string dusters and showing some stuff on there, which is really cool. So I'll be doing another one, not this Sunday. I do it every other Sunday right now. So if you're interested, join on Patreon.
Okay, one last question from Justin. What is one mixing or production mistake that you see even experienced engineers make, and how do you avoid it?
I could name a few. I think one is working too long on the mix without taking a little break. I take a lot of short breaks to reset my ears. It's easy to start fooling yourself. The other thing is mixing too loud. I mix most of the time at a volume like I could talk over it at this volume. You could be sitting right here when I'm mixing and you would hear every word I'm saying. I'll pump it up on the big speakers and on my Yamahas once in a while, but mostly the lower volume. I think another mistake, and I don't know about experienced engineers. To be honest with you, I've not really ever seen anybody mix a song, but I think the other thing is people think about mixing as this linear thing. Like, I start on the drums, I go to bass, I go to guitars, I go to vocals, I'm done, right? It's not how I mix, and I think probably other good mixers probably doing the same thing. And what I end up doing is I'll kind of start on drums and low end if I get something with drums. Then I'll pop over the vocals, and then I drum to the instruments, and then I'm back to the drums. I'm literally, it's all over the place because and I used to do this when I was younger. I would spend hours on just the rhythm section. And then you pop in the vocals and it makes things sound different. And you would just be so upset by it. It's like, fuck, I just spent hours on that. And you don't really want to go back. So you're forcing yourself to like make the vocals fit in. I jump all over the place. I'm loud. I'm quiet. I'm listening on different speakers. I'm popping the vocals in. I'm taking the vocals out. I go work on the vocals for a while. Then I come back to the guitars. Then I'll listen to the mix without the bass on. And it, I think there's no linear process to it, right? And then but I will say, as far as a process, I try to hold off on automation as long as I can. I try to get a really good static mix. Another thing is, I don't know if this is like a beginner experienced mixer thing, but if I have a song with a lot of dynamics, a loud section and a quiet section, I tend to start in the loudest section first. I work out, and I don't start at the beginning of the song necessarily. If the loudest section is the third chorus or the bridge, I start there. I'm like, oh, let me get it, so I don't later on realize I boosted things up, and then my gain structure screwed up because I'm overdriving buses and auxiliary returns and stuff like that. Start in the loudest section first, so that you got some headroom in there. And then you can work backwards. And the other thing is, I heard Chris Lord-Alge say this once. Each section of the song is like a separate mix. You got your intro, you got your verse, your chorus, second verse, chorus, bridge, whatever. Usually people are introducing different elements in the different parts of the song, and the vibe changes. So I'll start in the loudest section first, but I approach each section of the song as like kind of like I'm mixing 5 different songs in the same mix to some degree. So like in the verses, I'll be in the heaviest, most impactful section, and I've got a little click EQ on the kick drum, and it's punching really hard. I get to the verses, everybody's got a little quieter, but the drums are still cranking. I'll automate down on the kick drum like a little bit of the click. I'll either lower the reverb on the snare drum, lower the send to the reverb on the snare, maybe even shorten it just slightly. I will sometimes in the chorus, like I'll have a slightly longer delay just buried in the chorus that's not in there in the verse. Things change. I'll change the sound of the bass sometimes. I do this thing with the low end on the kick drum is to kind of recreate like the sub kick mic. I've got another way of doing it. I show it in some of my other videos and all that. that sucker gets turned down in the verses, you know. So that's another thing. Don't think that the mix is just this static thing. I'm automating the hell out of stuff. Once I get to the point where, like, I got my loudest section and you can kind of listen to it, it kind of makes sense, then I go through each section. And I usually work backwards. Loudest section, then the things on either side of that. And then usually the intro is the last thing I'm kind of really focusing. The intro and the very ending is the very last thing I'm mixing because I know I got that middle part. Now let me make sure the intro has some impact in some way, even if it's quiet. So.
Oh, yeah. I Love Audio Stuff says, I love that tune, Praying Man by Big Crit. Thanks for pointing us to this. So awesome to hear barking dogs in the mix. I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah. I wish he'd made a video for that. My biggest, Rick on YouTube says, my biggest problem doing a really comprehensive mix like that is I'm the artist and I want to get done so I can go listen to it in my car with the windows down. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Maybe sure it's not the fire department.
I know, right? No fire departments this stream.
Oh, no. It's John Clark.
Oh, boy. Okay.
John.
Oh, you're answering on the stream.
How you doing, man?
I'm live streaming right now. You're on the live stream. Say hi to everybody.
Well, hello, live stream. How's everybody doing?
I think everybody's doing good. It's just a chill live stream today. So, everybody, this is John Clark, who was on one of my
Fly on the Wall
live streams from several months ago, and we're doing one of his original songs. John, I can't talk right now.
Well, I was calling you to talk about Lebanon Church Road, so call me back.
Okay, we'll do. Hey, did I tell you about the couch burning on Saturday?
No, sir.
So I'm having a couch burning. If you want to come out, get your picture on the couch before I burn it. So we're going to start around 7:00. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. And we're going to burn a big chair too. So why don't you come out?
Like a plan.
You come out Saturday.
I might be there.
All righty.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Get on with your live feed.
Will do. See ya.
Okay, I think I found the link to the Fly on the Wall with John.
Oh my God, John, that dude's wild. Yeah. So Rick, mixing yourself is also really hard because you're the artist and you know everything that's in that song. So you spent forever on this little rhythm guitar part in the bridge or whatever. And the thing is you want everything to be heard. So you start working on it. And like if it's not your song, it's easier to go like, hey, it's all right if that's barely heard. Right. It took me years to get used to understanding that not everything has to be heard. It can just be kind of felt. To me, that's the biggest struggle of mixing your own stuff. And you know everything that's in there. So you're like, everything's precious as opposed to realizing like, oh, that can be more in the background. To me, that's the hardest part. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Casey. That's John Clark. Yeah. What do I think about Lee Scratch Perry? I don't know. Who's Lee Scratch Perry? I don't know. I looked that up. I don't know who that is. I probably got to end the stream here at some point though, because I do have to get back to work.
Got to get back on mixing.
Got to get on mixing. Yeah, I got tweaks on the first 7 Duster songs, but I still have another 13 songs to go. 7 plus 13
yeah, that's
is
right.
20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I did the math right. Suspense composer.
He was a Jamaican record producer, songwriter, and singer noted for his innovative studio techniques and production style.
Oh, sounds cool.
All right, let me put that on the list of things to look up. That might be a cool YouTube video. Hold on.
Thanks, Arthur. We'll be checking them out.
Lee
Scratch Perry.
God, I can't write. Oh my God, Scratch.
Nikki, we don't have an 1806 drum kit. Sorry. Oh, y'all, don't forget, hit the like button on the stream. If you haven't subscribed over on YouTube, please do so. Hit the notification button if you want to know when Billy goes live or when he releases a video. And thank you guys over on Twitch for joining us today. And make sure to hit that follow button, please.
Justin Wright says, what's the most underrated plugin you use? I would say, I was talking about this earlier in Pro Tools. This one right here. Use it all the time. This lo-fi plugin, but I don't use it for lo-fi. I just use it for this distortion knob. I just barely turn it up. I rarely go above 0.5. Sometimes I'm down here. I'll use it on vocals, guitars, a bunch of things. And then in Ableton, what is the most underrated plugin? I don't know. They've got their own version of that. They got the saturator. Use that pretty much. Probably one of my main plugins in Ableton would be the EQ8. Use it all the time. This sucker here. I mean, look at this. Like, you can do all like these really steep, filters in here, all in the same plugin. I use this thing all the time. Also, in Ableton, I use their compressor. Day in and day out. Everybody's like, there's good plugins out there for that, but this thing I can kind of make do anything. I use their compressor all the time. I use a lot of stock stuff, so, there's some good third-party plugins out there, but yeah. Justin, that's just built into Pro Tools. That's just a standard Pro Tools plugin. It's just in there. And there's a newer version. They got this Air version, like the newer version. I don't use that one. I'm using just here. And if you're in Pro Tools and you go, it's under harmonic, and then just use the lo-fi. You could use it mono or stereo. Just use this old version here. Barely turn this up on something like on vocals. It'll be the last thing in my chain except for the de-esser. Just barely put it on there after you've done everything else. And it'll bring it, man. It'll bring that sucker forward. Watch out on the louder notes. It'll distort a little bit, but amazing. I use it on guitars. I use it on a million things. It's just a built-in plugin there. All right. I sent my Tascam Model 24 multi-track recorder back to Tascam because the sound effects board crashed. Oh, bummer.
I mean, if you're going to take another question, Gilbert asked, as a producer that records their own music, what would you recommend I do to separate myself from the music to get a fresh perspective? John, thank you.
John, thank you so much. Hey, why can't I I can't like his thing. There's no...
I know that one doesn't have a like button, but John, we appreciate it.
Appreciate it, John. Sorry, I spaced out. John, appreciate it. What was the question again?
As a producer that records their own music, what would you recommend I do to separate myself from the music and get a fresh perspective?
Well, okay. I've actually been thinking about this a lot since I've been working on my album. And I think the best songs I've done in the last year are the ones where I had 5 days, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 days where I kind of, and luckily for me, I can do this sort of thing where I don't do anything except work on that song. I start at the beginning and I get all the way through just everything. I'm not talking about mixing. I'm just talking about creation. I'm like playing the guitar part, doing the bass, writing lyrics, melodies. Then I need to do a string arrangement. Then I swing back to this, and then I write a bridge, and it'll take days. And I feel like in the initial creation process, it's important to not get a perspective, meaning just on the initial creation, just dive in, lose perspective, get really deep into it, add stuff, put it in there. You can always take it out later. But I feel like in the initial process, especially in the first day, like if you're working on, say, a basic arrangement or the chorus, try to get to the end of that thing first. Like if I can rarely get the whole song done, so I'm like working on the verse and the chorus or just the chorus, and I have an agenda for that day, I don't stop till I get to a real stopping point. And then I come back the next day. But I want to absorb myself in that song. I don't want to be talking to anybody. I don't want anybody to give me suggestions. I don't want any outside influence. I don't want any of that. I don't want anything. I just want to work on that song. And once I get through most of the song, now maybe I don't have all the lyrics. There's one line and I just went, za, 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 just to fill it in. Maybe I don't have everything, but I got from the beginning to the end of the song. I got the main parts, it's like a car that could drive, but maybe I don't have the air conditioner in, or there's one window, there's no glass in, right? But you could still drive down the road. After that, you want to step away from it for a few days, and then come back and work on it some more, and then see if you can find some more days that you can work on it. The other thing is, I will play it for certain people. I don't play it for a bunch of people. I always play it for Kit. Kit always has an interesting take on things, but there's this other thing that happens, and I actually want to do a video about this. I don't even know how to explain it, but I found whether I'm playing a mix or a new song, I can sit here all day long and think about what I think it sounds like. Having somebody in the room with me listening, even if I'm not looking at them, even if we're not talking, changes the way I hear the mix or the song. Sometimes I will sit back. I like to put somebody in my seat, and then I sit back and I kind of like look at them out of the corner of my eyes, and I want to see if they're nodding their heads or how they're reacting and all that. That will really affect it. Now, somebody might say something about my lyrics or something like that. I've been doing this long enough. I know what I want and all that, but I do take those things into consideration. And then the other thing is sometimes working on your music with some sort of
enhancement.
Enhancement.
Actually, somebody else, I think it was Niles, had a reference
important.
this as well.
Yeah, and it's not like something I'm going to do during the heavy lifting, but sometimes getting a different perspective through emotional, psychological enhancement can help. I use it as a tool. I always save a new session just in case I need to go back because oh, thanks, John, again. Appreciate it.
Lisa Chase Wolf has an interesting comment. It's the artist eye versus the critic eye. Just being in the presence of a non-artist makes you view your art from the critic's eye more.
Yeah. This is something that took me years to figure out. Like, how can you be objective and subjective at the same time? In the initial creation process, I'm not objective at all. I mean, I'm not going to let it become a 10-minute long song, right? But I want to lose perspective in it. But after that, it is about getting lost in it. You got to go back and forth between being subjective and objective. And that can happen a lot of ways. Taking a break. When you're mixing, taking lots of small breaks. I walk outside for a minute. I'll get online and just listen. In the old days, back when I had TV, I don't really have TV now, like regular TV. I would just go up and turn on the TV and just, I don't know, watch some commercials or something just to reset my ears and walk back downstairs. That's very, very important to not fool yourself. But that's more on the mixing side. The other thing is when, this is for me, when I'm tracking music for a song, and this is something I learned from doing live streams. When I started live streaming, working on my own songs, a lot of it was with Jimmy from Tokyo Teens and sometimes with Slade, either working on his music or my music. I figured out that during the streams, I don't want to spend an hour working on one damn guitar part. People get bored. So it's like, okay, I just got to nail it. Let me just get in there and like, just get through it, right? And then we move on. And I'll go back and redo it later. And what ended up happening, I'd go back later. I was like, I kind of like that live version, even if there's mistakes on it. And there was this one point, it was actually at the last couch burning. It was literally the last couch burning. Slade and Jimmy were here, and we had a little boombox down there. We were listening to the songs we worked on. Some of the songs were songs we'd done in the traditional method of being in the studio just by ourselves, and we're just obsessing on things. And some of the songs were done on live streams. Some of them were written on live streams, and we're like making up stuff right there. Hands down, the best stuff, live stream. And I think it's because it's cliche, but the vibe. So when I'm by myself and I'm working on parts, it's easy for me to just go overboard and do too many takes, and then I got it perfect. It's actually something I learned a lot of work on rap music. The guys always liked my sloppy take because it had this energy to it, and the other ones might have been perfect. But I'm realizing it applies to a lot of the other things in songs as well. So another way is to, when you're recording, do a lot of playlists and all that, but don't throw away that first take. Oh, that's the other thing. Oh, here's another thing. Really important when you're working on your own music. If you make a demo, let's say you got your phone or whatever, you just record something, save that and have it in the same folder and keep going back to that, because trust me, there's going to be something in there. Like maybe you're singing, you went, da 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 da, and Later on, you changed the lyrics and you left that, you left some little thing in there, like, or you took out something like where you accented or a little pitch bend or something. That was a huge part of what made it catchy. And then later on, when you're just working and all that, you miss those because you're cleaning it up. Go back to that demo and go, oh, I phrased it this way. You'll forget the phrasing and all that. But it's the same with as you're working on a production and you're working out tracks and maybe your rough mixes. I save all that stuff and I go back and listen to it and I go, man, that rough mix sounded better. Why? Because the vocals were too loud or they were too quiet or whatever. And, or I redid the rhythm part, So don't lose sight of that. Oh, thanks, Tylo Productions.
Thank you, Tylo.
The first take, well, I wouldn't say my first take is always the best take, but, oh my God.
There's always at least something about it.
Especially with bass, because I have this tendency to dig in on the bass, and then later on I'm either playing it too hard or too soft. It's like, I was just hitting it right there. It's amazing how many times I go back and like, oh my God, I liked my bass part on that first or second take, except for the last two measures, and I spend 2 hours trying to figure out how to play it with that same feeling on the last two measures, but I have to do it because the chords change and I miss the note. It's like, but yeah, so that's another thing. Don't overdo it, which was I think about some of my early recordings and I was so proud of them because they were so perfect and it didn't move anybody. Because I cleaned it up and I perfected it and I perfected the emotion right out of it. So. Yeah, Lisa Chase Wolf is saying, give me a take with fret bez over quantized clean one every day. Although I've been dealing with some buzzes lately that I did have to deal with. So
I mean, when you've got an entire band of acoustic instruments.
Yeah.
John,
Thanks,
thank you.
John. God dang it. Now I'm feeling like we ought to, maybe, I should probably put this towards something in the studio. I said we could go out and get a beer. I forgot what I was going to say. I'll see you later, Jolie. John, thank you so much.
Wait, is it Jolie or Joelle?
Oh, wait. Joelle.
Well, they complimented.
You're right, Joelle. I can't.
They complimented you earlier on saying it correctly. So if you said Jolie earlier, then that was it.
No, I did not say Jolie. I just saw it now, and
okay, so it's Joelle.
Everything's blurry. These glasses are not right. He had to match that dude.
Yeah, John, I'm sorry you're running a little behind because Tylo's tipping in euros and they're currently a little stronger than the dollar.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, is there a tariff on that?
Not to mention, tariffs on YouTube. I think you're
Tylo,
safe.
I think
you're
there
safe.
might be a tariff.
Oh, that's right. Because this is not
that.
Tylo's first thing this
Tylo's
stream.
not in the United States.
Yeah. Are you invited to the couch burning? I don't know. You can make it, man. Sorry.
Well, it's just for people who worked at the other studio or worked with me recently. I mean, not everybody. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure I want to let everybody know exactly where I live.
Just to be frank.
Yeah, I had a couple stalkers over the last couple years. Nothing too crazy, but it was a little weird, a little scary. It's kind of weird having fans now because, yeah. Oh, thanks so much, Elvin. Thank you.
11?
11. Oh, 11. Wait.
11.
11. Oh, 11.
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I stream 11.
John. Uh-oh.
Hey, if we keep this going. Yeah, so 11, I stream every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. I wasn't going to stream today because, oh my God, here they go.
Man, y'all rock.
So I stream every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. I usually go at least 2 hours. Sometimes I'll go a lot longer. Sometimes I do these fly on the wall live streams that'll go 8 hours. I hadn't done one recently. One of the people on here, John Beatty Clark, who's now tipping me, we did a fly on the wall stream with him that was
I actually threw a link up to it earlier.
8.5 hours long.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I do these, and then and then sometimes I haven't done it lately because I'm mixing an album and it's taking a bunch of time. Sometimes I'll just pop on late at night and I'll just be here working on a guitar part or something. So yeah, please come back. And then sometimes I do Q&As where we're specifically taking questions for people from people about production or whatever. Right now, I'm just chatting. I wasn't going to stream today because I didn't have anything planned. I just felt like talking and I missed everybody. And now here we're talking and they keep tipping me. So I you know.
John says, okay, I'm done. My wife is going to kick my ass.
Oh, yeah. Actually, there was another live stream where John kept tipping us like $1 or $2 at a time, and it kept going. And I think his wife, Rebecca, finally is like, John, stop it. Yeah. But no, I actually need to. Actually, I think Harper's going to help me with some stuff for the couch burning, and then I got to mix, and I got to work on a video, and there's a lot of other stuff. I live in Athens, just down the road from the Love Shack. Oh wow, cool. Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, I saw something about the history of that building and all that. Yeah, interesting. I do need to make a trip to Athens because I am looking at manufacturers for T-shirts, and there's a printer up there, and I'm thinking about going out there. I also want to go by Jason Kingsland's studio. I've never been out there, and I could just use it. Kit went to school in Athens and lived there for years, so there was a lot of times
I love living in Athens. Athens is really cool.
Yeah, I was going up there. We were dating, and then way back in my past, I was gigging in Athens a lot back in the day. It's a very special town for me. Yeah, wow. So anyway, yeah, I gotta go. It's been a good stream. I got a lot of notes here from people about things to look up and try out. And then Tylo, I'll be sending you that list we talked about hopefully later today. I actually got to look for a song. He's not on the stream right now, but he's a guy who's made some short films in Atlanta, and I worked on the score, and he's actually working on a play and wants me to find some music from one of the scores to play in the play, which I need to get done. And yeah.
And we do actually manage to get over there and check the Discord and for suggestions and things. I threw the Discord link up in the chat. And if you guys want, I have more band suggestions or have more suggestions, for things Billy could look at or whatever topics. You can throw them up in Discord, or, for band recommendations, you can also comment them on the relevant video because we've been trying to keep up with that.
Yeah. I see. So 11, you're from Europe and it's nighttime. Yeah. A lot of people on my streams and on my YouTube are from Europe. And then when I do these long streams, if I start at 3, God, there was one recently where it went and Casey, you can see him sitting there next to Kit. Or his image, anyway. Casey's in the Netherlands.
Oh, no, he's here,
there was
totally.
one time we streamed late, and it was like 3 a.m, and he was still modding. I'm like, Casey, go to bed. So, yeah.
He's dedicated.
Very dedicated, very helpful to me.
But, yeah, you can watch the replays.
Oh, yeah, you can always watch my live streams.
You can always watch.
Yes, go to my YouTube channel, go to the live tab. All my live streams are up there. So, yeah. So anyway, I do have to go. I got to eat something, and I got to get working on some mixes and stuff like that. Thanks, Casey, so much. Can we see Casey waving real quick? Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it. And thanks, Harper. Glad you made it out here. Say hi, Harper. There's Harper. He's doing the cameras and a bunch of other stuff. Kit, thank you. And thanks to everybody so much for watching. John, if you're subscribed to me, you should get a notification.
Well, no, you subscribe to Billy's YouTube, and then you have to hit the little bell.
Oh, yeah. By the way, hit the bell, subscribe, and hit the little bell. They make you add that extra step in there, and then it'll click on your phone. So go back to my channel, subscribe, hit the bell, and then it rings on your phone. So,
I think.
Oh, yes, and Nikki, I'll listen to what you sent Kit. I promise. It's just been kind of crazy. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. I'll see you next Wednesday. I might pop on and do a late night live stream at some point. We'll see.
Well, maybe they'll see you on Saturday.
Oh, if we can figure out how to live stream the couch
out.
burning, we may live stream that. So maybe on Saturday.
But of course, for y'all in Europe, that's going to be pretty darned late.
Yeah. Thanks, Tyler Productions. Thanks, John. I appreciate everybody being here. It's been a blast. I will see you soon. In the meantime, be good to everybody and be unique. take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5, take whatever.